Hey everyone. All right, so today we're going to talk about how do you really know if you are in the self-concept that is going to receive the manifestation of your desire, especially when we're talking about manifesting an SP. I have a really good kind of way to check in with yourself so you'll really be able to tell quickly if you're dominantly in the state or not. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. Hey everyone, it's Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I am always happy to be here. I think I'm going to do lives a little bit more. They're actually really fun. I forgot how much fun I have with you guys chatting. So much better than just talking to a video. So definitely expect it probably on Mondays. I don't know if I'll do them every Monday, but just stay tuned. Look in the community tab. I will post something like, hey, I'm going to jump on in 5 minutes or something like that, and then we'll just have fun. So I want to talk about this because I think this is really important and this can really help a lot of people because, listen, there's so much affirming, there's so much this, there's so much that, there's SATs, there's all these fucking different techniques, and they all do an amazing job of moving us internally to the reality and a different state. But I want to share with you a tip to really help you understand, am I really in that state? Am I really in the wish fulfilled right now? You ready for it? Here it goes. Okay, so let's talk about Neville because, listen, this man wrote many books, and this is where I get my information dominantly from. So when he talks about knowing to change but self, we've heard this a million times over. We all know that it really means I have to change my perspective and change my mindset of how I'm seeing the situation, how I'm viewing the person, what I'm assuming is happening, will happen, and then how I'm seeing myself in relation to this situation or specific person. So when we look at when you're affirming, when you're changing your story, when you're reprogramming your mind, whatever you want to call it, remember what we're doing is we're thinking new thoughts that support the new assumption of who we desire to be, okay, which is in the wish fulfilled, having the desire of our dreams, okay? Then what's happening is you're commanding your subconscious mind. You're telling it, no, this is who we are, rather than letting it think what it's always thinks. So you're mastering your mind. You're commanding your subconscious. You don't want your subconscious to run the show if it's an assumption that is not favorable in manifesting unwanted experiences for you. So this is the power of using your mind and reprogramming it. So the subconscious mind will not accept what the conscious mind doesn't believe or feel is true. So you're so powerful that your thoughts create your reality, and you're so powerful that even when you're affirming the new thoughts of the new story of you, even without believing it, you will still manifest in reflections of those new thoughts in your reality. The more you persist in it through the reprogramming efforts, and the more you are accepting that this is who you are, and this possibility of you, and this possibility of a relationship with your specific person, and the possibility of your specific person being this new version, then at some point your subconscious mind will accept it as truth. Once it's accepted as truth, it really will just manifest continuously. You still will be triggered, as I talked about in many videos, but well, we're not going to talk about that in this video, but to really help you understand when you're affirming for your SP. So, my mantra has always been like, you need to focus dominantly on self-concept, which is like 80-90% about you being the version of you that is already in the desired position that you want. So whether you're committed to already, you're the one that's chosen, this is why you're committed, you're loved, whatever it is, just keep affirming and moving yourself into that desired reality. Then you affirm maybe 10-20% about the SP. So when you're not able to, when you're affirming for your SP and you're struggling, like you feel resistance, which is just you don't believe it, you still believe more in the old version of them rather than the new possibility of them, which will be the new version of them at some point. So that's why you feel the internal resistance. Or you're not able to see them even when they're triggering you in your current reality, or even if they're not in your reality. It's hard for you to affirm a favorable story and to see them different in your mind, accept a new version of them in your mind. That is how you know you're not in the dominant self-concept of you being in the wish fulfilled. And here's why. because Neville's very clear about no one to change but self. So if you haven't changed your perception of you, where you're convinced dominantly that this is who you are, then it is not going to be possible for you to really buy into and accept the new version of your SP. Okay, so here's why, because no one to change but self. So if you haven't bought into fully yet or dominantly that you are amazing, you're the catch, you are the girlfriend, you are the boyfriend, you are the one that's chosen, you are the one that's committed to, and you really are walking around like, yes, this is who I am, because that's really what knowing is. That's what assuming the position is. That is really like believing and knowing and trusting that I got this, this is who I am. Like that is what it is done means. It means that you already know. You're not dominantly doubting. You're not dominantly focusing on anything else, no matter what shows up in your reality that goes against you knowing this is who you are. So when you're not being that version, what will happen is you're slipping back most likely into the insecure old version of your self-concept, and you cannot see your SP favorably. So you will know when you're thinking of your SP, if you are thinking of them in the old story dominantly, not once in a while, dominantly, that's going to be your indicator that you have not changed yourself. You have not accepted that you are living in the end. You have not accepted that you are, in the wish fulfilled, that you are already this version and that therefore it is already done. Because when you're in the version of the wish fulfilled dominantly and you've accepted it, you've created this new self-identity that you're actually buying, that, oh my God, this is me. I am chosen. Of course, no one compares to me. And you know it with confidence. Then it's very easy for you to accept and know that, of course, your SP will have to see you that way and be the version of them that you desire and want because of who you are. So remember, your belief system, your assumptions of your self-concept is what filters out your reality. And it's what is making your mind focus on circumstances and attach meanings to those circumstances that support that self-concept. So if your self-concept is still dominantly shitty and like that old version that feels not loved, not wanted, not chosen, and rejected, then what you will notice is your thoughts about your SP and the situation in you will support that self-concept. You're not going to be able to hold the version, like I always say, of them loving you and wanting you, and of course they're going to marry me and be with me and all that fun stuff, when you haven't accepted that you're already living that way. You are already that version of you. You are already in that reality. You're already in the wish fulfilled. So that is a really good way to really figure out, oh, what is my self-concept? Because a lot of people don't understand. They're like, I'm just doing a mental diet and I'm affirming, but I still feel really bad. Or I'm doing a mental diet and I'm affirming and I'm not, I still feel like my SP is not going to do this, but I'm affirming. So if I'm affirming that I'm amazing and gorgeous and handsome and sexy and, every man or woman wants me, then why am I still struggling with the SP? And usually it is dominantly rooted in you're still dominantly the old self-concept that's saying they don't want me. I am not good enough to receive what I want from them. This is why it also can feel really hard when we're manifesting an SP. I mean, I've been there. Like everybody that manifests their SPs, they will definitely have plenty of moments where they're like, what the fuck am I doing? I should just give up on this person. Like, we feel like, is this even going to be worth it? Even if you know it is, even if you've already manifested your SP back, even if you know it's just part of the human process of this experience. But most people that give up on manifesting their SP, one reason is because emotionally they've outgrown that person. This has personally happened to me in the past, where I've manifested back in SPs, but I did so much inner work on myself and I just felt so different that even when they came back in affirming everything and were willing and ready to give me everything that I wanted, I no longer felt the same way about them. I just didn't have that emotional connection to them anymore, and so I did not pursue that. Now, other ones I did, and so I would, say yes, and then I would just manifest the same bullshit because, especially back then, I didn't even know law of assumption. I didn't understand my self-concept. So that is one reason why some people will not want to continue with their SP. But the main dominant reason that I come across mostly with most clients and people that give me feedback all over my social media platforms is it just is too hard for them. In that moment, they feel like it's too hard for them to give up the old story. So if this is speaking to you, I did a TikTok on this the other day because it's important. If this is speaking to you, you really need to understand that then that means you're not believing in your power as the operant power and that you can actually do this. And then the other thing is that your self-concept is not in the wish fulfilled. You haven't bought and accepted in that moment when you're not trusting this, that you got this in the bag because of who you are. See, remember, Neville's like, if you don't see yourself a new way, then you're not going to be able to see the other people a new way. Because if you see yourself as they don't want me, I'm still rejected, I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough, and that's your dominant self-concept, how you see yourself in relation to them, it's very, 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 very hard to dominantly hold the story of them that is favorable because it doesn't match. So if you're feeling any of these things that I talked about, then all you have to do, because I'm going to give you the solution, all you have to do is move yourself, understand, oh, this is my self-concept. Let me focus on me right now. I am loved. I am wanted. I am chosen. I am good enough. I am, too important to lose. I matter the most. I always get the commitment. I'm always the one that's pursued romantically and invested in emotionally. I am the girl or guy that always gets the person that I want. Whatever I desire desires me more. Like, this is actually easy for me. I have nothing but love for myself, and therefore everybody, reflects that back to me. Whatever you want to say about you that feels really good, right? And then you'll shift, and then your brain will naturally, when you're affirming for an SP, it's going to just flow into it so easily, because when you are accepting that this is who I am already committed. I am already chosen. I am already, being loved by the person I desire. Then you will be able to see them as loving you, wanting you, and the version of them that is capable of showing up the way that you desire. So that is all you have to do, is to keep moving yourself into the version of you that is already living this experience, and remind yourself that you are the operant power. It's not your job to figure out the how and the when. You don't need to figure out when they're going to come to this epiphany, how they're going to fucking change to be this new version. None of that shit matters. It can happen overnight. It could happen in a couple weeks. It may take a couple months. It don't fucking matter. You're going to get what you want if you stick it out. But you need to be the primary source of changing your perspective of how you see yourself in relation to them, because then it's easier when you're affirming or you think of them to think of them seeing you lovingly as well. If you don't see yourself lovingly, you can't sustain a dominant belief or a dominant, story or narrative in your mind enough to push out and actually experience consistently that they see you lovingly back. Been there, done that. That's where all the hot and cold comes from. So you don't have to be fully in that self-concept. We're never talking about permanence. We're talking about dominantly. And even before you get there, you can still manifest movement from your SP, definitely. But I just want to point these things out, so as you're going through this process, you're understanding what's going on with you and how to move yourself into the version of you that can push through those, hot and cold patterns, can push through the triggers, and just keep reminding yourself why you're doing this. It has nothing to do with the SPs. It's all about you breaking your own unhealthy natural assumptions that are blocking you from receiving the love that you deserve. And you're affirming and creating and reprogramming a new self-identity or new self-concept, and which will eventually turn into a new belief system and new natural assumptions about who you are in love. So you break this pattern for good and you get what you want, whether it's from an SP or someone else. It doesn't fucking matter. They're just the mirror that you're choosing. And if you choose to roll with that same mirror for the rest of your life, that is okay. Everybody to each their own, but I'm just saying this is not about them. It's about you. They are only reflecting your story of how you see yourself in their eyes and how they see you in their eyes, if that made sense. I think you know what I mean. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did. Remember, I have my workbook available that's all about self-concept and love. It's really fun. I've sold, I don't even know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of copies, and I'm getting nothing but amazing feedback. It's available on Kindle as well as paperback. I also have, online courses to help you out. One is all about self-concept and love. It's a 30-day course. There's also Manifest Your SP Back and Keep Them for Good course. And then there is also an inner child masterclass if you want to do some inner child work. Whatever you want, I got for you. if you don't, it's okay too. Just do what I say in all these platforms and you'll be all right too. So love you. I'll see you later. Bye.